Okay, hello everybody. I wanted to show you how I expect you to do your homework when I want you to submit an Excel file. So I'm in the first homework where I have you submit an Excel file is in Module 3. So let's go ahead and go there. And if you go down here to Homework Chapter 3, it says review all the Chapter 3 problems. And then I tell you that they're in the book, but they're also, if you go down here, you can go ahead and open them up. And I want you to solve the numerical problems on Excel. And I'll show you how I want you to do it. So let's go ahead and go ahead and click on this file. And we can scroll down. And we want to go to Chapter 3, which is on page... the Chapter 3 problems start on page 18, so I go here and go 18. And gets us close to it, right? So here's the Chapter 3 problems. I'm going to do this I'm going to make this a little bit wider so we can see it here. So the first word problem, so all I want you to do is I want you to go to these problems and I want you to work out the ones that have numbers in them. Like problem 4, you don't have to work out, it has no numbers. It's not but the ones that are, you have to calculate a number, those are the ones I want you to do. So there's 44 of them. I want you to review the ones without numbers, but the ones with numbers I want you to work out on Excel. And you'll know which ones they are. If you need to like pick up a calculator, this Chapter 3? Oh, it's Chapter 1, I'm sorry. I want to go to Chapter 3, right? I didn't assign it, so we're going to... let me go back to the table of contents. Chapter 3. It says it's on page 18. I guess their page 18 is different. I'll just scroll down. Chapter 3. We'll just scroll down real fast. Okay, so here's the Chapter 3 problems. Alright, so this is the first one. So you only want to do the ones that have numbers in them. So there's be a lot of them that don't have numbers. So you want to get started early because there's quite a few number problems. But I'll show you it's not as hard as it looks. So let's go ahead and let's work out this first one. So the way I like to do I like to use Excel as a big worksheet. So I'm going to copy this in. A big workbook with a worksheet for each problem. That's how I expect you to do it. So I'm going to hit the window key. I'm going to hold down the shift key, S-H-I-F-T, and the S is in Sam key, and it brings this up. Window shift S. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to open up Excel. So I'm going to type EXE and open up Excel. Might take it a second. Alright, so now we have our Excel, and I'm going to paste that in. And what I'm going to do is shrink this down a little bit and zoom in so you guys can see. And I'm going to label this down here. This is a worksheet. I'm going to label this problem 3-1. So when you do 3-2, I expect the next problem to be 3-2. Okay, so 3-1, first you put in what you're given. So I expect a given, find, and solution section. So given, so we're given a 5.5. We're going to say coupon rate, right? Is 5.5%, and it's paid. It says paid annually, right? So only one coupon a year, one coupon payment a year, and the required rate of return R is 5%, and the price of the bond per 100. We could say the face value is $100. That's what they're saying here, per $100 face value, and we want to find. It also says what else? We want to make sure we get a maturity. We call that N. Is 3 years. Now see how I put all the numbers separately, didn't I? This is also per year. Okay. And this is paid at maturity. All right, so you can make little notes as you go. We want the numbers separately because if you change those, so you might get a question just like this on an exam. You can just go ahead and change these numbers and it'll crank out the answer the way we're doing this here. All right, then the next thing we're going to go find. And so we put all our numbers in, all the information we need. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to find the price of the bond. So that would be like the present value. So it's the price of the bond. So for solution, so the first thing you might want to calculate is a coupon payment, right? Because you want to know what the coupon payment's going to be. And the coupon payment is pretty easy. It's equal to, well, the face value times how much it's going to pay a year. So every year it's going to pay this per year, right? Let me put the formula in here so you know what it is. Okay, so after you get the payment, then you could say a year, and we're going to have a payment on year 2, year 3. Also on year 3, you're going to have you're going to get that $100, right? You get the face value. So we could say the cash flow you're going to get each year, well, it's going to be equal to $550. I'm going to go ahead and hit F4 because I don't want that to move, and I can just copy it down. Okay. Oh. Okay. And then finally another cash flow we're going to get is we're going to get this $100. We're going to get the face value at maturity. All right. So those are the cash flows you're going to get. So the next thing you want to calculate is the present value of the cash flows. So how much of those cash flows, I'm going to be getting this a year from now, this 2 years from now, this 3 years from now, this 3 years from now. So what's the present value of those cash flows? Where I go, it equals this divided by parentheses 1 plus the interest rate, not the coupon rate. A lot of students get the coupon rate and the interest rate mixed up. This is the rate this is the required rate of return. This is the interest that they're going to pay you, right? So they're different. I'm going to go ahead and F4 that because I'm going to copy this down, and I don't want it to move from there when I copy it down one. And we're going to take this to 1 year. So I'm discounting $5.50 back 1 year, right? And so $5.50 to me, $5.50, that's going to get if I invest $5.24 right now, and I earn 5% on that. Let me put the formula there. Then if I copy this down, so this is what each one of these. In 2 years, this is what I invest. If I want $5.55 in 3 years, I invest this right now. So I'm discounting these back 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, right? As you can see, I'm discounting them back. And then to finally get the present value, I'm going to go auto sum. And then I can just go present value. And this is my solution, so I'm going to highlight in yellow. So another way I might do it, I might use, now you don't have to do it all these different ways I'm showing you, but you also could do it this way. You could use the present value function. So go equals present value, and the rate is 5%. I'm going to go ahead and F4 that. And the number of periods is 1 period. This isn't a payment, this would be a future value. So I'm going to skip the payment and then see how bold it's asking for the future value. I'm going to say it's a negative that. I'm going to invest that. What I want that. Anyway, you'll see I have to make that negative to get a positive answer. And if I go answer, I get the same answer. And I copy these down. Let me copy these formulas. And if I sum this again, I get the same answer again. Right, so I can use the Excel present value. So this is the math way to do it. This is the Excel present value function. I could do something called the net present value solution. Remember, you only have to do one. I'm just showing you there's a lot of ways to solve these. I could do this. I could go NPV, and that's equal to NPV. And the way the NPV works, it wants the rate. That's what it's asking there in bold. And it wants the cash flows in year 1, 2, and 3. So my cash flows in year 1 and 2 are this. My cash flows in year 3 is going to be this plus this. I'm going to get $105.50 in year 3. And it gives you the same answer, right? So anyway, I'm just showing you there's a lot of ways to do these. Another way you could do it, you could use the Excel price. Price. So for the price function, you might say, well, first I'm going to buy the bond today. So this is my settlement. Let me put it over here. The day we buy it, and then maturity date. I'll just type it in. It'd be 1/30/2026, right? Because it'd be 3 years. 3 years, and then maturity date, and then I could go the present value. I could use a price formula and go equals price, and the settlement is this, comma, whoops, I put comma, and the maturity is this, comma, the rate is 5% per year. Well, that's a coupon rate they want. The yield is this right here. The redemption is $100 per $100, and the frequency is 1 for annual coupon, and you get the same answer, right? So we can format this same. So bonds are important enough that Excel's got a bond pricing formula built right into it. So anyway, my point is, you only have to do one of these ways. I'm just showing you there's a lot of ways to solve these things. You just do it the way you want. Now how do I know if this is right? Well, I can go back here. If you go way down to the bottom, let's just scroll down here. It has all the solutions, right? So, chapter 3, solutions. And I'll get there. Sorry about that. So what you might want to do just to have it for, so when the exam comes up, you just take the solution and paste it right in here, just so you have it for your own reference. And so we know that the answer is 101.36, 101.36, and we have it, all 4 of those, so we know we got it right? So, but what I want to see now, I don't want to see you type these numbers in. I want to see some type of Excel function that you're using. If you're picking up a calculator, that's not correct. Now I can quickly check if you guys don't have to put these formula text things. I'm just doing that so you can see what they are. You can if you want, but I can very quickly go like this, and I can see if you use formulas to solve your problems, right? If you don't use formulas, I'm not going to give you any points for this, right? Another thing is you want to do it this way, because if you get this on an exam, I draw these questions. I use the exam. I draw these questions. I'll change the numbers, but I'll use questions exactly the way you did here. And all you have to do is change these numbers here if you can find that problem that you did, and then automatically change the answer. So if I change this to say 6%, it's going to automatically change all the answers, right? Now Control Z is my friend. I'm going to Control Z to go back. All right, so now I want to solve the next problem. So I go back here. Let me scroll all the way back up. Well, we could probably, before we scroll up, let's go ahead and Windows Shift S. We'll get this, because we know this is the answer to the next problem. And I'm going to go to 3.2. Let me just put that over here so I don't have to go back down to the bottom. And then now I'm going to go back up to where the problem is. And I'm going to get the next problem. Window Shift S. I'm going to paste that in. Now I suggest don't look. You're not going to learn anything. You look at the solution first. Try to solve it first, right? And then if you can't get it, then look at the solution. Because so now I can see this problem is very similar to the last one I did. So here's the beauty of Excel. I can go here. I could take. Let me take. Let me solve it a different way, just to show you. There's another. It's a very similar problem, but I'm gonna solve it a different way. So I'm gonna go copy. There's one way I didn't solve it, which is probably the way I would have solved it that first problem. I just forgot to do it that way. So now we're just gonna change these numbers. Now we know the coupon rate's 3%. The market discount's 4%. This is 2 years, right? And just make sure you got everything, $100. And then what I can do is I'm going to show you another one I didn't show you. So I can use a present value function on this. And I could go equals present value. The rate, again, don't get the rates mixed up, is this, right? Number of periods is 2 years, right? The payment is $3 per year. It looks like it's paid annually, right? 3% of 100 is 3. And the future values are going to get $100. And the answer is $98.11. And we got the same answer. Let's check what we have here. So they might have solved it a little different, right? But we were able to solve it very quickly. Now you can also solve these on your on a calculator, right? But some of these you can solve on a calculator, but I don't want you to use a calculator. But just let me show you how you could solve this, how you might solve this on, say, an HP 12. So let's go to I'm going to go search for an emulator. And so the way you would work this, I would go 2 is number of periods. And then, oh, hold on. 2 is the number of years. R, this interest rate is 4, so 4% is I. Present value is what we want to know, so I won't do that right now. The payment is 3%, $3, right? So 3 is my payment. My future value is 100. And then if I hit PV to solve, it'll give me 98.11. And that's the same thing. So these are all built into financial calculators also. All right. So anyway, I think you get the idea what I want to do. So remember, you just have to do the ones that have numbers. And you notice how I solved this one. It took a long time. This one was a lot quicker, right? So some of them will be very quick. So some will not be. So one thing you want to do is get started early, right? Because this is going to be, I think there's 44 problems. They're not all problems, but there's 44 questions in this chapter, right? And like I say, I'm going to take these from I'm going to take these problems and I'm going to use them in the exam. I'm going to change numbers, but they're going to be very close to that. So it'll help you for the exam too. If you do this correct, you do this really nicely on an Excel worksheet, you'll be able to ace the exam real easy. All right. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.